We set out looking for a gold mine and we ended up finding a ghost town. I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to have you with me. I'm excited to have you with me. Hey, welcome to my village. This is where I live. I live here now. Hey, look, it's an abandoned house. I found it. Ooh, look at that. Hey, I'm going to be moving in here since the housing in Billings is so expensive. The people that like, I don't know what you do, but the house prices need to come down so poor people like me have a place to live. But now, look at this. It's perfect. I'm going to move in. Dun, 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 dun. Look at my arms. They're so big. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode. I'm excited for you to be here. Let's go explore an abandoned gold mine. Well, it ain't pretty, but I'm on my way. We're gonna head out of town. Well, on the way to the gold mine, I found this place. It's called the Adams. It is basically my own hotel that I didn't even know existed. It's pretty fantastic. I love it. You should come stay here. It's in Lavina. It's not really mine, but it's named after me, so I have a special affinity to this special hotel. And if it's not a hotel, I don't know what it is, but I just think it's awesome. I'm excited to go exploring. I'm excited to have you along with me, so let's get going. So here in this area, there's a ton of abandoned gold mines and silver mines. I've never been to this area. It's more like a spec trip. So I'm glad that you're here to join the adventure with me. I have no idea what we're gonna find here in these mountains. Right outside of White Sulphur Springs. It's not a very popular area. It exploded because of gold, silver, and lead. I'm looking for entrances into an underground mining system that can be then later explored. They also had a strip mine up here. There's a pretty big strip mining area. Not too much underground stuff, but I do know that there is some. Strip mining is essentially where you take the ore, the rocks off the surface of the mountain, and then get the ore out of it that way. And it's a long ways back here. So they ended up having to load everything up into a wagon and hook up their horses or animals or ducks or whatever they used to pull that thing. They pulled the wagon over 100 miles in order to get it smelted. So the mining here was very taxing on the individuals. And then, you know, by the 1920s, you have the Great Depression hit and the whole mining industry in this area started to dissolve and everyone pretty much left. But that leaves a lot of unexplored history. Be sure to subscribe because you don't want to miss out on next week because I want to dig into more of the Custer treasure. Hopefully those books come in. Don't want to miss out on $24 million worth of gold. So just a little pocket change there for somebody other than myself because 24 million, I mean, I'll never make that in my lifetime. Let's just be honest. I'll never probably make $1 million in my lifetime. Yeah, anyways. I'm going to be doing a lot of spec trips out to different locations to see if they're worth exploring deeper and exploring more. Because there's so many locations in Montana, if you just pick one and you just go with it, you could be going with it for a long time. I want to make sure whatever we do on this channel, that it's going to be interesting for the long term and that you can follow through with the journey. Now this location here would be a bear to get up to in the winter time. It just ain't happening. But today, it's absolutely beautiful. As we're outside and as we're on Forest Service land, you know, it's important to respect the history, the culture. Anything that is found here needs to be reported to the proper authorities. It's not something that is mine. It's something that's a part of history. It's ours. It's our history. It's the history of Montana. It's a history of our grandfathers and our great-grandfathers as they tried to make ends meet. And that piece of history needs to be documented in the proper manner. And so anything that is found, we're not going to cowboy it. We're going to mark the GPS location and then turn it over to the Forest Service so that they can do a proper investigation with some of their archaeologists. And what's cool is they archive all of that information, and that information is then available for everybody. This trip ended up so much different than what I expected. I was expecting to find a gold mine, but I didn't. I found something so much more exciting and so much more rich, and the history is amazing. Yes, there are gold mines in this area, and there's some open pit mines that we found. I know that there are some underground ones, and we're going to continue looking for those, possibly at a different time. But right behind, we're in an old town of 1,500 people. You see, I came here looking for a mine and discovered a ghost town. Walking amongst these houses is so surreal, so wild to be able to look at this ghost town and appreciate the history that this place brings. To think that at one point in time there was thousands of people here scurrying around, going to the local bars, going to the local community centers and restaurants. They were hard miners, they worked hard. They dug deep into the mountains and broke up the rocks with hand tools. And then after that, they loaded sacks of ore into bags and lifted them up and put them over their backs and walked down the mountain until they got down to the horse-drawn carriages. And then they dropped the ore in them. And then from that point, it took them 100 miles to get to the nearest smelter. We're in an area of Montana that has savage winters that people would have had to survive and work through. No doubt many of these people here had frostbitten hands and fingers, possibly losing limbs and even their lives at some points in time. This is such an interesting journey, and I'm really excited to go back and study this further and study this little mining town and see what the history is behind here, and perhaps maybe in the process of digging into this area, maybe there's a treasure somewhere that we don't know about. Maybe somebody had a stash of gold that they kept behind, that they kept for themselves for a rainy day that they never came back or never took off with. It was amazing seeing, like, going to some of the areas within the mines where the guys worked, where the guys were, with their sweat, blood, and tears poured out, breaking these stones with their bare hands. Well, maybe not bare hands, they were probably using, like, what do you call those? Like pickaxes or something, Something like in Minecraft. I don't know. I've never played Minecraft. But Minecraft? Yeah, Minecraft. I think that's the one where the little square blocks go around and what do? They like dig holes in things. I don't know. I've never played it before. I'm actually just really interested in real mines and real caves. So it's what an incredible blessing it is to be here in such a quiet area with amazing structures all around us that might be falling down in the next couple years. And I just hope that this can be some way of preserving the history, the rich history that took place here. And I'm just so grateful to stumble across something so incredible. And I'm so glad that you joined me for the journey. We set out looking for a gold mine and we ended up finding a ghost town. And that's the surprise, that you never know what's going to happen on an adventure. Don't plan these things out probably as well as what I should right now. It's kind of crazy. this place is Castletown, and they came here from all over the world to search for their own treasure, to search for gold and silver and lead. I'm excited to maybe come back here and actually get into one of these gold mines. If we can find an entrance, that would be incredible. One thing that I've learned over the last couple journeys here and exploring, and one thing that even had to do with the Forrest Fenn treasure that Forrest Fenn hid, because I searched for that treasure for quite a while until it ended up getting found. And then I hid a new treasure. You should go to my website, youtubeadam.com. I hid a treasure for everyone to find. I'm really excited about it. It's a treasure that grows in value. It's something that's very special to me. I learned that when searching for the Forrest Fenn treasure, that life is the greatest treasure of all. And I just want you to enjoy your life, to be able to cherish it, and to be able to really live it well. Anybody can survive life, but it takes a lot of work to be able to live it well. And that's one thing that I learned on the journey of the Forrest Fenn treasure, is to really treasure life. I went in looking for a treasure, and I came out valuing something so much bigger, so much greater than just a small little treasure hidden in a box by some eccentric millionaire. I found a sense of well-being, sense of purpose, a sense of drive, a sense of excitement, and learn that ultimately life is the greatest treasure that we can have. And so I just want to encourage you to go out, have these adventures, send me pictures, tag me on Instagram. I'm excited to see where you end up. Be safe, and always take a reliable form of communication. Actually, right now I have a little GPS transponder, so if anything happens, I can get in touch with people right away. So I'm so excited to dig deeper into the history of Castletown and just really see what this town has to offer. I think it's going to be incredible. I think we're going to learn a lot, and I'm excited for you to join me on this adventure. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, always treasure your life.